Hello everyone, my name is Rob, welcome to Kinetic Rugby League and welcome to the NRL review round 2. In this video I'll be showing you shortened highlights from round 2 of the NRL as well as talking about some of the key stats from each of the games. Let's get started. The matches I'll be covering in this video include Penrith Panthers vs South Sydney Rabbitohs, Parramatta Eels vs Cronulla Sharks, Brisbane Broncos vs North Queensland Cowboys, Sydney Roosters vs New Zealand Warriors, Dolphins vs Canberra Raiders, Melbourne Storm vs Canterbury Bulldogs, West Tigers vs Newcastle Knights, and St George Illawarra Dragons vs Gold Coast Titans.
Stay back. Fair to say, the Bunnies are completely over the mountain men. Can they strike back tonight? It's only round 2, but you get the feeling there's a little bit of pressure on the Premiers here as we kick off the second round of the Premiership. Let's hope it lives up.
Go, shorten yourself.
Cleary, high across the ground, Tungo, that's knocked back, and it's Leota, he picked it up, he got the pass back to his front row mate, Fisher-Harris, and then to Kenny, who spins it out wide, and Crichton, yes, in the corner! What's your take on this half, Joe? It's been intense.
There you go. Well, you spoke about the stats.
Oh, Garner's dropped another one. Oh, we're back. Luai to the clear, he throws it on the boot, oh, that's an unbelievable way to finish the first half. A drop ball went back from Garner and... Oh, it hasn't gone to 10. Is it going to bounce the 10? It bounces backwards. Don't touch it. Penalty. 12-0 coming up. Shaq and Latrell. Away to Crichton, draw and pass, top off to the corner. They're back in business. It's 20, Moale, and out to Mitchell. Here's Kaloamatangi, half into a hole. He did get it away. And now Walker around the back and he fires it to Johnston. There is life in the Bunnies yet. Great try. And then Manly, and then Melbourne. So this is a very trying month for them after their first up win over Cronulla. So the first 5 weeks against legitimately good teams. Johnston, that's nice. Mitchell now. Backhander from Latrell. That's something special. And the kick and chase, he got it down!
Brilliant.
What about that for a try? They've got to do it here. Ilias, oh, how about that for a tackle? It's still alive. It wasn't a knock on. The ball goes down to Cheekham. Cheekham versus Crichton. He's kicked ahead. Johnston's after it. It's tapped over the side. The Panthers have saved it. Penrith 16, South Sydney 10.
Starting with the South Sydney Rabbitohs, their spine included Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker, Lachlan Ilias and Damien Cook. Tries came from Alex Johnston and Isaiah Tass, and their goal came from Latrell Mitchell. For percentage stats, they had 46% possession, a completion rate of 68%, a tackle efficiency of 88.21%, and their top player stats, Damien Cook had 60 tackles, Isaiah Tass had 168 metres, Alex Johnston had 1 line break, and Damien Cook had 57 fantasy points. On the side of the Panthers, their spine included Dylan Edwards, Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary and Mitch Kenny. Tries came from Stephen Crichton, Isaac Tungo and Brian Toto. The goals came from Stephen Crichton and Nathan Cleary. Percentage stats, possession was 54%, completion rate was 80% and their tackle efficiency was 89.51%. Top player stats, James Fisher-Harris had 46 tackles, Sunil Taruva had 198 metres, Stephen Crichton had 1 line break and Luke Garner was awarded 63 fantasy points.
Hopgood, so impressive last week. Straightens, beautiful ball, and Campbell Gillard is over. Hopgood, oh, another offload. Now Gutherson with the no-look pass. Dylan Brown's got some space. Now Wagga Blake in the clear. Draws in Kennedy. Sivo! Back it comes for the right. Trindle with a majestic ball, and Britton Nicola is through. Brayley, there goes Kennedy. Oh, they've got them shot. It opens up again. Will Kennedy strolls over. Now the last. Brown. Moses scores. He's over in game number 200. Well, it's dummy, and he gets away from Hopgood. Moses and Brown on the left. Moses to Brown. Then the floater. Sivo work to do. Sivo just steamrolls his way over. Moses on to Gullison. There's the interception. Mulatalo's away. Now the chase is on. Moses is running him down. Mulatalo. Moses. What a chase. What a save. But they're not out of it yet. No, Talakai bursting onto it. Kennedy gets inside Blake. Gets inside Simonson. It's another Cronulla try. Moylan getting Simonson the back. Mulatalo! Ronaldo! He gets over. Gullison out of dummy half. He's got past Wilton. That'll do an offload. Oh, Hopgood down the middle and still going. Moses on the inside. Burns away for Finucane. They're back and it's game on. That was a sensational 80 minutes of rugby league. That is as good as it gets.
Starting with the Parramatta Eels, their spine included Clint Gutherson, Dylan Brown, Mitchell Moses and Josh Hodgson. Tries came from Regan Campbell-Gillard, Micah Sivo with 2 and Mitchell Moses with 2. The goals came from Mitchell Moses with 3. Percentage stats, possession was at 50%, completion rate was 66% and tackle efficiency was 88.62%. Top player stats, Jermaine Hopgood had 47 tackles, Dylan Brown had 195 metres, Micah Sivo had 1 line break and Jermaine Hopgood had 85 fantasy points. On the side of the Cronulla Sharks, their spine included William Kennedy, Matt Moylan, Braden Trindle and Blake Brayley. The tries came from Britton Nakora, William Kennedy with 3 and Ronaldo Mulatalo. The goals came from Braden Trindle with 5. Percentage stats, possession was at 50%, completion rate was 73% and their tackle efficiency was 88.53%. Top player stats, Blake Brayley had 46 tackles, William Kennedy had 183 metres, he also had 3 line breaks and Britton Nakora had 73 fantasy points.
We are underway for Friday night footy, round 2 of the NRL. Get ready for fireworks. Set restart here for the Cowboys. Tierney with a dummy, he'll almost get there. He stopped a metre short. Robson to dummy half. They go to the right. Townsend, Nanai! There he is! This superstar youngster, Jeremiah Nanai. Potter. He's lost it, but had a bit of help.
I believe he'll knock the ball out and play down.
Ashley Klein said he believes he stripped the ball out.
Holmes makes it an 8-point lead for North Queensland. Walsh, Reynolds, Haas, Payne Haas.
Well, he's going.
Stands in the tackle,
6 again.
plays at the pace. Reynolds puts in a kick, here comes the Broncos, charging onto it, and getting there first is Kurt Capewell. Here's Tanua Brown.
Jordan, let go.
11 away from the line for North Queensland, penalty here. So that's a hip drop tackle. And he slots it. Corey Pakes. Reynolds, man, Reece Walsh. What can he do? He finds Corey Oates. Oates puts a kick in. Ezra Mann's got it. That is absolutely brilliant from the Broncos. Walsh, look out. Corey Oates. Oates down the touchline for the corner. He's there.
At first, it's this. Wow, the contact. That's direct contact with Corey Oates' head from Drinkwater.
We're about to get an explanation here from Ashley Klein.
Okay, so it's no try because he loses the ball. However, your actions have made contact with the head, you're in the bin.
Pakes. Reynolds. Oh, the tackle from Flegler. He hung on. Popped it out the back to Reynolds. Now Reece Walsh, bit of footwork and a kick. What a play from Walsh. The Tony Staggs will score. But Reece Walsh has laid one on for Brisbane.
Oh, not late.
Well inside the 40, and Reece Walsh looking to attack that ball. Up to the 30, he's got Granville in front of him, runs around him, links up with Jesse Arthurs. Arthurs with some room to move. Here's Ezra Mann. Ezra Mann setting sail for the corner. What a try, Brisbane! That is electric from the Broncos. Carrigan. Pat Carrigan slips through. I think it's an offload away to Reece Robson, but it's a penalty.
And you've picked it up offside.
Reynolds makes it a 2 converted try lead now for Brisbane. Ready for North Queensland. Townsend puts in a kick for Nanai! He got there, did he? Jeremiah Nanai with the try that'll bring the Cowboys right back into the contest. North Queensland territory. Now Herbie Farnworth splits them. He's got support. Reece Walsh will seal it for Brisbane. Welcome to the Broncos. Reece Walsh scores in his first game in the NRL in Broncos colours. Full time. The Broncos, 28, have defeated the Cowboys 16.
Starting with the North Queensland Cowboys, their spine included Scott Drinkwater, Tom Dearden, Chad Townsend and Reece Robson. Their tries came from Jeremiah Nanai with 2 and their goals came from Valentine Holmes with 4. Percentage stats, their possession was 46%, completion rate was 81% and tackle efficiency was 84.58%. Top stats on the night, Reece Robson had 48 tackles, Jason Taumalolo had 202 metres, Murray Tuolagi had 1 line break and Jason Taumalolo was awarded 52 fantasy points. Onto the Broncos, their spine included Reece Walsh, Ezra Mam, Adam Reynolds and Billy Walters. Tries came from Kurt Capewell, Ezra Mam, Tony Staggs and Reece Walsh. All goals came from Adam Reynolds with 4. They had a possession of 54%, a completion rate of 80%, a tackle efficiency of 90.69%, and their top player stats on the night, Kurt Capewell had 34 tackles, Herbie Farnworth had 244 metres, Corey Oates had 2 line breaks, and Patrick Carrigan had 63 fantasy points.
Let's go in your round 2, Super Saturday. The Warriors kicking towards the northern end of Allianz Stadium. Another fresh set for the Roosters. The pressure builds on the Warriors. Tedesco, Swalei, Jackson Barlaw. Keary hoists it again. The target is Edward Crossy. And again, Edward gets up, comes down with the ball.
That's a couple of great takes there by Crossy.
The penalty's gone to the Roosters blocker. It's 8-6 to the Roosters. Where's the strike coming from? Harris back to Egan, and now Johnson gets the ball away. Back to Wade Egan. He scores in back-to-back. Across the face of Thomas to May. Well, May playing it 5 out right in front of the uprights. Keary long, beautiful from Manu. Fantastic, and now Barlow brushes his way over the line. It's direct angle. Keary dummies inside, goes outside. Swalei. Tedesco is inside and Swalei runs away from him. Now he passes. Walker, Sam Walker dives in. Harris through Johnson, now near Corey, bursting through. Big Allen for Noah Blake. Allianz Stadium rumbles. Now Egan dummying, running and through. There's support in that replacement player. Now they're away. Sheridan cut down at the final hurdle. Tedesco with another try saver. Penalty attempts. Sam Walker to go out by 8. Flags are up. A bit more comfortable now, the home crowd at Allianz Stadium. So the Warriors brave, but the Roosters do enough. They have their first win for 2023 to the tune of 20 points to 12.
Starting with the New Zealand Warriors, their spine included Chauncey Nicol-Klokstad, Tamari Martin, Sean Johnson and Wade Egan. Tries came from Wade Egan and Aidan Fanua-Blake, and their goals came from Sean Johnson with 2. Percentage stats, their possession was 46%, they had a completion rate of 77% and a tackle efficiency of 93.56%. Top player stats, Tohu Harris had 60 tackles, Marcelo Montoya had 162 metres, Edward Cossey had 1 line break, and Sean Johnson was awarded 69 fantasy points. On the side of the Sydney Roosters, their spine included James Tedesco, Luke Keary, Sam Walker and Brandon Smith. Tries came from Jackson Paulo with 2 and Sam Walker, and all their goals came from Sam Walker with 4. Their possession stats was 54% possession, a completion rate of 82%, a tackle efficiency of 94.13%. Tops player stats was Nat Butcher with 52 tackles, Joseph Suwali with 231 metres. He also had 2 line breaks, and Sam Walker was also awarded 69 fantasy points.
We're on our way. It's the Dolphins and the Raiders as Super Saturday continues. The Raiders on a little bit of a roll here. Oh, what a shot! He's done it again! It's Hudson Young. Whoa, right in the ribs. And another set restart here. Now there's numbers 1, dummies, goes for it and scores. Young for Horsburgh. There's a flick. Fogarty for Chris. Chris Underwood and Knight. All of a sudden it opens up and Kotrick scores. Canberra have another.
As he's going to ground here, he's getting pulled over and his knee gets caught underneath in between Jeremy Marshall King's legs.
Okay, yeah, in effect in the tackle, mate. It's a hip drop. It's on report.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. 10 minutes in the bin. This is going the wrong way. Here is O'Sullivan with the delicate kick. It's a try! It's Tabuai Fino! Open side for Marshall King. O'Sullivan on the angle. The kick, Gilbert coming through. Now Gilbert, that's an interesting contest. Gilbert thinks he's got it. It might get the bunker very interested. 11 in from touch. And got it! 12 all. Now comes out the Qatar. Kofusi can't get it on. Young with the tackle. Now the hammer goes for it. He gets over it, but he can't get it down.
Okay, we have no try. Firstly, we just need to review there's no grounding. If we don't have a grounding, we have Hudson Young offside at marker.
It's a penalty. It's kickable. No, that ball's nowhere near the ground.
He's clearly not squared. He's the main defender, which has held him up. You're in the bin.
My goodness, they are going to finish with 12 men. Not out of it yet. Dolphins did their best work when they were down to 12. Canberra are going to have to return the favour. The Dolphins are in front.
He's also made contact with the head. It's on report, and you're in the bin.
12 on 12, another twist.
Penalty over here.
There is not a game in 2023 that doesn't have drama. Qatar, double pump, Havaso, Tabuai, Fino! The Dolphins do it again, and it's the hammer. Somehow, they have found a way to claw their way back, and they have edged out the Raiders.
Starting with the Canberra Raiders, their spine included Sebastian Chris, Jack Whiten, Jamal Fogarty and Danny Levy. The tries came from Jack Whiten and Nick Cottridge. Goals came from Jamal Fogarty with 3. They had 52% possession, a completion rate of 82% and a tackle efficiency of 93.70%. Corey Harawira-Naera had 39 tackles, Sebastian Chris had 191 metres, Nick Cottridge has 2 line breaks and Joseph Tarpany was awarded 63 fantasy points. On the side of the Dolphins, their spine included Hamiso Tabuai-Fidau, Isaiah Katoa, Sean O'Sullivan and Jeremy Marshall King. Tries came from Hamiso Tabuai-Fidau with 2 and Tom Gilbert. The goals came from Jermaine Isako with 4. They had 48% possession, a completion rate of 75% and a tackle efficiency of 89.93%. Top stats, Jeremy Marshall King had 41 tackles, Mark Nichols had 185 metres, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidau had 1 line break and Tom Gilbert was awarded 59 fantasy points.
Matt Burton gets us underway. It is game 6 of round 2 and Jerome Hughes. Marnie, better service this time. Flanagan. And then for Max King, former Melbourne player. Marnie with it. Preston! In only his second match. On the last tackle. And Flanagan, they're going to run it. Kiraz will have a dive for the corner. He gets there easily. Well, Jacob Kiraz, I was expecting. For Flanagan, show with the ball. Here's Viliami, spoons it up. Alamotti, the Fox is away and will get there as well. Canterbury are turning on a show. A little scrappy at the play the ball there. Out for Averillo. Perez with it again. He's already going to try. Now he's got another. Jacob Perez.
And brilliant strength from Jacob Perez, who is having a night out at Amy Park. Great skill there from Averillo. Look at this. Twist, turn, gets the footy there.
Now Marnie's going to kick for inside the 40.
Got it.
It's on its way. Oh, I don't think so.
I think he got it.
You reckon he got it?
So does the touchy.
Averillo has a look up from dummy half. And will have a run himself. Averillo's got over. Oh, great Bellamy. Grant back to the left side. Set and restart. And going close to the arrow, gets a look at the line. Called the plate, he did the ball plant, that was dangerous. Nelson will have a go himself. Nelson's over. Hughes on the run. Here comes Katoa. Here comes the Storm. Standing in the tackle. Remus Smith with it. Canterbury get defenders back. Little chop on the head of Kickow. Off goes Grant, gives the pass away. Hughes is over for Melbourne.
Oh, football. Beautiful.
There's no such thing as an accidental trip. That's an unnatural move with the leg in the air. Viliami's gone to the sin bin. At full time at Amy Park, Canterbury 26, Melbourne 12.
Starting with the Melbourne Storm, their spine included Nick Meaney, Tyron Wishart, Jerome Hughes and Harry Grant. Tries came from Nelson, Asfer Solomona and Jerome Hughes. Their goals came from Nick Meaney with 2. They had 47% possession, a completion rate of 82% and a tackle efficiency of 81.77%. Top stats came from Harry Grant with 47 tackles, Eliesa Katoa with 160 metres, Eliesa Katoa again with 3 line breaks, and Jerome Hughes awarded 78 fantasy points. But on the side of the Bulldogs, their spine included Hayes Perham, Matt Burton, Carl Flanagan and Reid Mahoney. Their tries came from Jacob Preston, Jacob Kiraz with 2, Josh Adokar and Jake Averillo. Goals came from Matt Burton with 3. They had 53% possession, a completion rate of 80% and a tackle efficiency of 85.5%. Top player stats, Reid Mahoney had 44 tackles, Jacob Kiraz had 235 metres, he also had 2 line breaks and he was also awarded 90 fantasy points. With the West Tigers, their spine included Dane Laurie, Adam Dewey, Luke Brooks and Api Coruscant. Tries came from Asu Kepua and Stefano Utoakamanu, and the goals came from Adam Dewey with 2. They had 52% possession, a completion rate of only 63%, a tackle efficiency of 90.84%. Top stats on the night, Alex Twall had 46 tackles, Dane Laurie had 191 metres, Luke Brooks had 1 line break and he was also awarded 55 fantasy points. On the side of the Newcastle Knights, their spine included Lachlan Miller, Caelan Ponga, Jackson Hastings and Jaden Brayley. Tries came from Dominic Young with 2 and Lachlan Fitzgibbon with 1. Goals came from Jackson Hastings. They had 48% possession, a completion rate of 76% and a tackle efficiency of 86.47%. Top stats on the night, Felix Crosland had 42 tackles, Dominic Young had 177 metres, he also had 2 line breaks and he was also awarded 56 fantasy points.
We are ready for a start here at Cogra. Final game of round 2 live on Fox League. And it's Sloan to get us underway. The Titans running with the help of a southerly sou'easter in this first half. Comes to Francis Molo, who straightens things, get those legs pumping. Over the top, it was Blake Laurie who forced the ball loose, forcing George Illawarra, and now a penalty as well. About 17 out, should have no issues. Putting the Dragons in front here. Early on, not quite 9 minutes gone. Goes to Foran on the left though. Brimson stopping, starting. Can't beat Sullivan. Yes, he can. Brimson, what work! He gives it to Lofiana Khan-Pereira, and he has his first try in the NRL. So 5 more plays coming here. Liu playing it. Verrills will find a hole and skates in to score their second try. So out there in the 17 tonight, and a switch for Anthony Griffin. Sloan goes straight through them. Little backing up in his first game as a St George Illawarra Dragon. Jacob Little puts the red V on the board.
Line drop out.
Into no man's land, allowed to bounce rather lower. Gets a very friendly bounce and then brings it back. He beats 2, beats 3, still going. Who can stop him? They go out to that eastern touchline. Hunt, first man option. Lomax dumps it out the back. Hunt shows it. He dives in. Here are the Dragons. Now Surley, nothing doing. He goes to Rabbitohs. Oh, he knew there was something doing. Slow play the ball. It's Musgrove who gets an offload there from Kerr. It goes to Hunt. Sloan! He appeared from nowhere. Tyrell Sloan scores. Boyd will go short, doesn't go close to finding the 10 metres.
I wonder how his confidence is at the moment.
And they get 12 the difference. 24 points to 12. Last play. Goes back to Hunt. He'll kick. Wants his one to come down in the field of play. It does. And there's a penalty against the Titans. The Titans' cause hasn't been helped by the absence now of Sam Verrills. Flags up. Shoving match with the forward. Through Bird. To the middle! Blake Laurie! Big blocker has his second try. Another chance here inside the final 10, but the trail by 20. As Fasua Mala'awi scored from the restart, yes, he has. It was simple stuff. And at the end, it was the Dragons 32, the Gold Coast 18.
Starting with the Gold Coast Titans, their spine included AJ Brimson, Kieran Foran, Tanner Boyd and Sam Verrills. Tries came from Alafiana Khan-Pereira, Sam Verrills and Tino Fa'asua Malawi. The goals came from Tanner Boyd with 3. Possession was at 45%, completion rate was 75% and tackle efficiency was 85.34%. In terms of top player stats on the night, Tino Fa'asua Malawi had 42 tackles, Isaac Liu had 163 metres, AJ Brimson had 1 line break, and Tino Fa'asua Malawi was awarded 70 fantasy points. But onto the side of the St George Illawarra Dragons, their spine included Tyrell Sloan, Jaden Sullivan, Ben Hunt and Moses Mbai. Tries came from Jacob Little, Ben Hunt, Michaeli Ravalawa, Tyrell Sloan and Blake Laurie. Their goals came from Zach Lomax with 6. They had 55% possession, a completion rate of 82%, tackle efficiency of 84.38%, and top player stats, Blake Laurie had 38 tackles, Michaeli Ravalawa had 214 metres, Tyrell Sloan had 2 line breaks, and Jacob Little was awarded 66 fantasy points. Looking at the ladder after round 2, in 17th place West Tigers, 16th Parramatta Eels, 16th Canberra Raiders, 14th North Queensland Cowboys, 13th Canterbury Bulldogs, 12th Melbourne Storm, 11th Newcastle Knights, 10th Cronulla Sharks and 9th Gold Coast Titans. Moving on to the top 8, in 8th place Sydney Roosters, 7th New Zealand Warriors, 6th South Sydney Rabbitohs, 5th Penrith Panthers, 4th Brisbane Broncos, 3rd St George Illawarra Dragons, 2nd Dolphins and 1st Manly Sea Eagles. So that's going to be it for this video. If you have any thoughts on any of the matches from round 2 of the NRL, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with new content. You can also follow the social media accounts in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.